Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, guys, to Spring Preview Week's Biolan Forever, a chat with Biola alum. We are so excited to have you guys here. Today, we're going to be meeting with one of our Biola alums, Dan Cohn. We're going to be going in and talking about some of the reasons why he chose Biola, some of his experiences at Biola, and then what life has been like after Biola. So if you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to chat them in the chat box, and our facilitator, Ashley, will pass them along to us. So first off, we're going to start with some introductions. My name is Brittany Lubeski. I'm actually a current student at Biola. I'm a junior business marketing major, originally from San Diego, but right now I'm living in Orange, California, so a little bit closer to Biola. But yeah, I'm going to pass it on to Dan now.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So yeah, my name is Daniel, as Brittany said, and geez, I'm not a Biola student. I have the diploma right here on my office wall to prove it. I am from Boston, Massachusetts, so I was debating faking a Boston accent for you guys and really trying to spice that up, but that's where I'm from. I graduated from Biola in 2018, so been a few years now, and like, dang, time flies. Yeah, and it's awesome. I'm not sure what the major is now. It's called Brittany. I feel like it changes every 5 minutes, but I was a Christian ministry major, biblical theological studies. What, I don't know. They probably changed it since I've been gone. But I was in that department, and I've been in full time ministry ever since. So that's me, yo. That's me, and I'm glad. I wish I was where Brittany was right now, though. It looks nice and sunny, and guys, it's snowing out here. I mean, to be fair, it's snowing in most of the country right now, but it's like snowing in Boston right here. So you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Okay. So, a little overview of what we're going to be doing today. We're first going to start off with some outlined questions and just kind of answering an overview of questions, and then we're going to go into some Q&A. So again, if you guys have any questions at all, chat them in the chat box, and we'll get into those after. Okay. Are you ready for the first question?
I'm ready for it.
Okay. So, why did you choose Biola for your undergrad journey?
Yeah, that. So I'm gonna be totally transparent. I looked at these questions that you sent me, and I'm like, yeah, I'll think about them, but I'm way better off the cuff. So you can thank me for that later. Brittany, for my personal life, my decisions with Biola, it's kind of weird, kind of strange. Um, Long story short, DBC, right? Everybody loves DBC, Barry Corey. He is from my home church, the church that I'm actually currently working at. That's where he was when he was living here out on the East Coast. So I heard about Biola through him, and just through a lot of friends that were older than us that went to Biola. My wife, actually, I joke around saying that I went to Biola because my wife went there, and I joke around saying that she followed me there, but yeah, we heard about it through just some, friends of ours that went, and we went on a Biola bound, come check it out, and fell in love with it as soon as we stepped on campus. And man, I chose Biola. That's great getting you there, and I think you guys have already done a great job getting here right now on the Zoom call. Stinks that we can't actually be on campus, but y'all are here. But in reality, actually, what made me choose Biola was the very close knit family feel that I experienced when I was there. And it wasn't, I was totally anticipating like, oh, these are prospective students, or they're incoming freshmen, and almost going to be kind of like not bullied in a way, but kind of like looked down on, and got, want to like earn your stripes being on campus. Yo, I was invited to downtown Disney like the first night that I got there, and I totally broke all the rules and I left, and I shouldn't have. But you could just tell it was a family and people cared about one another, and that was the real authentic stuff that I could see. Like they're all like the facade of, yeah, your visiting was great, but just the people, man, the people and the community really solidified it for me. Somewhere I could feel home, especially being so far from home, being across the country. Man, it felt so good getting to call Biola home, and that started literally my first weekend visiting there. So that's what nailed it for me. And just so all you guys, all my prospective students are knowing, I'm not being paid for it. I am giving you the genuine, honest why Biola, was part of what changed my life. So hopefully you can not think I'm BSing you or anything. But
I definitely agree with that. I feel like Biola is just one big family, and it just like the whole campus feels like home. It's a very large home, but it feels like one
Right.
big family. It's the best. Okay, so on to the next question. How did you decide on your major?
That's a great question. I don't know if you guys are here. You can type it in the chat what you're interested in studying. I'd actually love to hear that. Side note, just to you guys a little bit of context. I was working in admissions, so very similar to what Brittany's doing right now. You guys should be very appreciative for her. She's doing a great job and killing it with this week. But yeah, I how did I start my major? It's kind of a crazy story, um, actually. I'll give you the short version. Since I was 16, I've known without a shadow of a doubt that I want to go into full-time ministry. Before going into that, I had a huge love for film. And so I see some people in the chat right now, they're saying they want cinema and media arts and all of that, which is awesome. That probably would have been my major if I didn't get called in ministry. But there was one night, I can hear the date. I have it tattooed on my chest, August 5th, 2013. God called me in a full-time ministry, and I haven't looked back since. So it was kind of easy. Bible, theology, ministry. I think that's what the new program is, what it's called. I see Jaden type that in there. So yeah, that's what I knew without a shadow of a doubt. That's what I wanted to do without looking back. So pretty cool. Yeah, I was really, really in love with their program, especially when I got a chance to check it out. So
Awesome. Okay, so next question. What aspects of your time at Biola helped you prepare for your life after college?
so good. This one I actually thought about a little bit. So real talk. I don't know. I see some of you guys are from different parts of the country, and some of you are from Cali, and all that's cool. Independence, real talk, like being away from home, and everything from doing laundry to getting up and going to class, and deciding what you want to do work wise and what clubs you want to get plugged in with, and how you want to spend your time. I think having that independence was like very, very important. I'm a huge mama's boy at heart, and so my mom was sad when I left and I was so far away. But being independent and living on your own, I felt like it was different from staying local for me personally. And being on the other side of the country, it was like, bro, like if you don't get a job, you can't fly home. So like you have to find a job, you have to do different things, and so that really I think helped me mature in my time there. So that was a big thing, living on your own and being independent after graduating. That post grad life is real. So yeah, that was I think the biggest that helped me prepare Biola. Also in my major specifically, and I think if you guys are interested in the Bible theology ministry major, I'm pretty sure they still offer it. But my last semester was actually super cool. I did my internship as my full-time job as a youth pastor. And I was youth pastoring for 3 years, and just recently I transitioned into a new role as a media director, kind of like production creatives pastor at my home church. So yeah, I loved it. And even just getting the chance to intern, but also like get paid to do it. But I was still doing school at the same time. It was super helpful, and that was like a really cool thing that I got a chance to do with my program. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like it's incorporated into a lot of our majors, and just getting to work in different areas that you're interested in through internships and all of that. That's definitely, they want you to have real life and practical applications to all of the classes and to all of your majors. So I definitely agree with that. Okay, next question. A favorite memory in class or with a professor?
Ooh, man, I had so many that I could have shared. I'm not even gonna lie. The biggest one that I think of, and maybe it's because I'm stepping into this portion of life. My wife Alicia and I, again, both of us went to Biola. Both of us are from Boston. We've been married for almost 2 years now. So starting to think about starting a family, whatever that whole idea. And I'm getting to that because in one of my theology classes, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to meet any profs or kind of like do any like Zoom interactions with them or kind of look them up online. But Dr. Eric Tanis, my goodness, I took a theology 1 class, and a really cool part. Obviously, all y'all getting Bible minors, which is dope. And one of the cool things was in my Theo 1 class, it was a Thursday morning at 9 a.m. And some of you were like, man, that doesn't sound very early. When you're in college, right? 9 a.m. can seem like it's 6 in the morning sometimes. especially if you've been out the night before. So I had a class with Dr. Tanis, and it was great because he was one of my favorite professors for sure. We'd be going through content and just curriculum, and that's fine and all. But then there would be these like random moments, Brittany, where he would just start preaching. He's a pastor, and he would go off on this like complete tangent and just start like getting really fired up and preaching. And it was like 9 in the morning too. So I'm sitting here like, wow, I'm waking up. I don't need any coffee right now. And one of my favorite stories was Thursday morning, 9 a.m. class. I think we were talking about the doctrine of man or something in that curriculum, and it was the coolest thing ever. He was in the middle of conversation and he said, "You know what? I'm stopping this right now." He said, "I need all of the men in the room to stand up right now." So we were just like, "The heck, bro!" Like, so all the guys just started. We just stood, not knowing what he was going to talk about, and he went on this whole tangent on saying, "You hopefully one day, right, starting a family, being a father." You will have one of the greatest privileges and one of the greatest responsibilities and burdens to carry in this thing called life. He said the way you raise your children, the way that you are a father to your children, especially in the first part of their lives, will greatly determine how your kids see who God is, the Father, for the rest of their lives. So don't screw it up. We were just like, bro, what the heck? Like it's not even lunchtime yet. And that's stuck with me because it's so much more than just I'm going to school and getting a degree, right? I'm not, paying all this money to get, a piece of paper and then get hired somewhere. I mean, he was preaching to men, being like, guys, we have an issue with fathers in this generation, and you have the opportunity to be a direct antidote and a response to it and help solve the problem. And I'm just like, what the heck, dude? Like, I wasn't for that. I take notes over here, and I'm just getting like all emotional. So yeah, I was crazy, and that is not uncommon. And if you're in a bio class, if you're in a business class, if you're in a cinema and media arts class, those moments come in, and you're just sitting there like, wow, I, okay, I know what it means to be a lover and follower of Jesus, and also pursue my passion and fill in the blank. You know what I mean? That's honest. That's transparent. That's not like a filtered answer. It truly has changed my life. So yeah, powerful, man.
Definitely. I feel like those early morning Bible classes kind of always get you. I had one my first semester of college at 7 a.m. and I
Yep.
would always leave and I'm like, wow, it's like 8 o'clock. And I feel like I just listened to a whole sermon and I just
Yes.
left feeling so impacted. I was like, wow, that was a lot at 7 a.m., but just felt
Right.
so good.
Yep. Totally get
Okay.
it.
Time for the last outline question and then we'll move into QA or
Sure.
Q&A. So what were some of your favorite off-campus locations?
Ooh, again, I could give you a million right now, but I'm gonna keep it quick for you. Um, my goodness, hands down, I did not love sushi until I went to Biola. So Tokyo Town, are they still in business, Brittany? Are they still there? Like
I'm
right
not
next to
sure. I'm
Biola?
not a huge fan of sushi, so I wouldn't know.
Okay. Yo, Tokyo Town sushi, my God, that joint was like manna from heaven. Tokyo Town was bomb. Drip, if you love coffee or tea, right down in Fullerton was amazing. Um, man, big fan of any kind of market you could go to in downtown LA and Anaheim. Disney is literally around the corner. I would totally just study and write papers like in the Grand Californian Hotel, like in like the lobby and all of that. And just go downtown Disney after. So yeah, there's a lot of places. Oh my goodness, lots of good coffee shops. Any beach, like literally any beach, especially coming from New England, any beach in California is better than New England. So that was super fun. Loved my church that I went to out there, Free Chapel, down in Irvine. So that was pretty cool, and just loved getting to serve there. A lot of really cool spots. Um, yeah, I feel like every weekend it's like, all right, where are we gonna go? Want to go to Yosemite? Bet. Let's pack up the car and go. Like it was super fun. So yeah,
Yeah,
make a
I
bucket
had
list,
that.
do everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. My first semester of college, it was weird because like every weekend, like looking back, I'm like, I don't know how I had enough time to study and to do all the things I did, but like you're so close to everything. We would just go on like camping trips and just like get in the car and leave. And I'm like, okay, like I guess I'm going camping this weekend, or like I guess
Right?
I'm studying at Disneyland tonight, or like things like that. Just
Yeah.
totally understand that. Okay, guys, we're going to move into some Q&A time. So if you guys want to chat some of your questions in the chat box, now would be the time to do that. We'll move into one of the questions we already have chatted in. So were you able to get a job quickly after graduating from Biola?
Oh, yes. I got hired while I was still a Biola student. Again, it's ministry, so it's all about relationships. It's gonna be different in different majors, but having Biola's name behind you, even on the other side of the country, makes a very big difference. And it's a very good school, not just academically but holistically. Again, the church that I was previously working for the last 3 years, from 2018 to just literally a couple months ago, um, I got hired there while I was still a student. Like I had my actual like interview, I think going into the spring, like my first semester, senior year, um, which was awesome. And so I got hired while I was actually a student. And so my last semester was basically packing everything up and then like doing school, but also prepping for the youth ministry I was going to take over and help establish. So that was something I got a chance to do while I was still a student from the other side of the country. It was like crazy, but so cool. And yeah, I think I might have beat, I don't know, like whatever the percentages are with getting hired right out of school, but yeah, I got hired while I was still a student, which is pretty fun. But
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, next question. What was residence life like for you?
Ooh, hoo, hoo. Yeah. So I'm an extrovert, um, just by default. So if you're not an extrovert, yeah, you gotta lock yourself in your room or something. Now you'll have your quiet time, you'll figure it out. But man, res life was awesome. I stayed in Hope all 3 years that I was on campus. Love Hope South. I was on Broho, second floor. And again, I don't know if they changed names, but that's where I was at. And some of my closest relationships were with guys on my floor, guys that are in my major, guys that I did mock rock with. I had RAs on the floor that I spent Thanksgiving with. They were like family friends. It was again weird connection, but a lot of cool memories, a lot of very late nights, and I fall asleep like now clockwork at like 9 p.m. So I'm an old person, but even then I was up to like 11, and that was pushing it for me. So guys, res life is dope. If you can stay on campus, again, yeah, I know COVID is weird, and what does that even mean? But I would highly recommend doing that if you can. So
A
yeah.
little personal shout out to Hope South. It is the best dorm out there, but that is definitely biased. Okay, next question. Looking back, what are some things you wish you could have done at your time at Biola but didn't get to do? Or is there anything that you would change about your experience?
That's a great question. Yeah, I think my first my gut reaction is to say no. I would want to keep it the same, just because I really had an incredible experience. I mean, Biola was one of those like seasons of my life um, that really set me up for where I am now, and so I wouldn't change anything in the world about it. Things that I wish I would have invested in a little more. I think you could would be a way to like, kind of like phrase that. Um, Man, I did a lot too. I went the whole like admissions route and then did a million other things like SMU and um, mock rock and like all kinds of fun stuff like that. I think I would want to go more, intramurals and everything. I would go steer more into getting plugged into a church earlier, um, and especially for me leaving in my senior year, my junior/senior year. I would have loved to have more time there, but again, that's something that's not even necessarily related to Biola. Yeah, I learned, I learned a Biola, Brittany. I learned what it was like to feel super stretched thin. And I learned how to identify what I was passionate most about and that it was okay to say no to things. That's one big thing. I don't know if I'm talking to somebody right now or preaching to someone that says yes to everything and then feels stupid overwhelmed when they have like a million things they're trying to do and they can't manage any of it. That was me. So I learned how to prioritize um, yeah, what I was most passionate about and what I was most in love with, and say no to other things was totally okay. Like just because you have a lot of good things doesn't mean it's the best thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's in college, there's endless opportunities. And so if you say yes to everything, you are
Right.
going to be booked for the next 5 years. So definitely learning
Totally.
how to say no to things is a big skill.
Yep.
Okay, so we are going to move into our last question. Do you have any advice for people considering different schools and trying to find the best place to go?
That's a great question. Man. So clearly, y'all are checking out Biola. I would be naive to think, especially working in admissions, that you're not applying to a million other schools too. And guys, it's okay. Like, it's okay to not go to Biola. And I know that sounds like kind of crazy. You're like, bro, you're an alumni saying that. Um, it's okay because I'm a pastor too, so you're getting the spiritual side of me right now. Any advice on looking at other schools? Don't feel pressured to go somewhere to do a major to fit a mold that you don't necessarily think you're meant to fit. I would do some real soul searching. I would pray your behinds off and seek the face of God. You know what I mean? And where it is that you want to go. I promise you, there are not very many other schools that are as good as Biola. And I'm only saying that because I've been to other schools. I've worked with other admissions departments. I have friends that went to other, again, this is all post grad. So it's easy to get caught up in the limelight and like the glimmer and glam of what college is like once you're there. But I promise you, talking to other friends that went to similar type schools, I'm not going to say names that are local to where I am right now, which I don't think anybody's looking to come to England, but yo, I had friends that literally said their college experience was a waste of time and money. Um, and they have a lot of debt that they don't want and they feel screwed and they're not happy with it. I promise you, I haven't talked to one person. And this is me being honest. I'm not getting paid by the school. I'm still paying off my debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me. But there's not one person talk to that went through the process that graduated that regretted their experience. And so I would say, biggest piece of advice: seek the face of God. Do your research. Like, figure out what you want to do. Like, if location, for me, location was a big thing. Yeah, I want to go to Cali. That's it. I'm out. Like, and that was a big factor for me. So figure out what you want, kind of do like your pros and cons. And if Biola checks off more boxes than other schools, bro, send it. Like, if you're, I feel like people talk about the will of God in the sense of like, man, am I doing what he wants me to do? Like this mystical thing. Brittany, if I have children that are playing in the backyard one day and they ask me to go on a trampoline or to go running around on the swing set or whatever, like, I don't care what they do as long as they're in my property within that fenced-in yard, bro, go send it. Have fun. Like, go be a kid, right? Go be a college student. Have fun doing it. Yeah, and if Biola was the school you go to, then sick, awesome. But definitely do your pros and cons. If Biola checks the boxes, do it. And I promise you, as an alum, I don't regret it. So I'm looking for reasons to go back. My sister-in-law, my younger sister, goes there, and I'm like, can you take me with you when you go back in a couple of weeks, please? So yeah, that was a long-winded answer. That was a great question, though. Very good question.
Awesome. Well, that was really good advice. This is actually all the time we have today. And the last thing we're going to do is pray out. Daniel, would you mind praying us out before we go?
Yeah, I would
okay.
love to.
Well, let's do it. And then we're good to go. I just wanted to say thank you for you guys coming. We loved having you guys here today.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Brittany.
Give it to you.
God, we just thank you right now for every single student in this room. God, I thank you that you are in control over every single one of their lives. God, I thank you for every single one of them. They are not here by any mistake. And Lord, right now in this moment, I just pray. I believe this is a holy moment. This is a divine moment where we have an opportunity to meet with you. And so I just ask right now that your peace would flood these students' minds, especially, God, as they're going through their junior, senior years, transferring, whatever it is. Man, in this time, there can be so much stress and so much anxiety. And you are the God that promises to give us peace that surpasses all understanding. When we put our trust and faith and fully surrender to you. So God, I just thank you for your goodness. I thank you for your sovereignty. And I just ask that you would bless every single student, give them peace about every decision they make. And Lord, we just pray right now that you would be, that they would know that you are with them in every single conversation, and every step of the way. And Lord, we just pray that if Biola is your will, man, that you would do it, and that those calf cookies would just incentivize the deal even more so. We love you and praise you. It's in Jesus' name, and everyone said, Amen.
Amen. Thank you so
Amen.
much, guys.
Right.
I hope that you have amazing weekends. Happy Friday. Go do something fun, exciting. We're so glad you guys could join us.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys.